certainly in terms of resort experience, and the intriguing question is, how will experience be linked to big data? How will our use of technology, really in the sense of transparency, allow us to be responsive, to customize while we're trying to commoditize in order to create scale, while not being prey to whatever is momentarily faddish? And because in that sense, we're very much in the hardware business. We create a place. If it doesn't have enduring qualities, if it doesn't have enduring essential characteristics, then in theory, someone should scrape it down and relaunch it. In the tech world, that's what happens in an instant. In the physical world, that's much less logical, much less plausible. So the resort concept of why people gather, how they are brought together and made happy together, in that sense, the customization of community. Back to Studio 54, really, the logic of events and environment created by the individuals present, and how that intersects with the real estate business, I think is the part of the opportunity that needs real consideration because of the permanence, as I mentioned, because of the permanence of what is created. And we can see this in public spaces all of the time. Which ones do we go to and say, it's evocative of a moment, and actually wasn't a terribly productive or attractive or inspiring moment, but it's there and we recognize it, versus something that's timeless because of its beauty or its balance, versus something that feels powerful at its launch, but one can sense won't endure. And the most extreme example of that in reputational terms, of course, would be the Sochi Olympics, where $50 billion was spent. So that's a ULI kind of conundrum. $50 billion was spent to create something that people assume won't last in the correct form for more than 6 months, which might not be right, by the way. But it was sparkling for 6 months, so that moment of glory. And I suppose in terms of our industry's vision, sustainability, creating the balance between relevance and permanence becomes quite interesting. In the resort context, it's true that maybe the tradition of a golf course and houses surrounding a golf course and various facilities will be more narrowly focused in the future, and people will gather for a customized approach. So maybe the type of golf you play or the skill level that you have in golf somehow can be anticipated and embraced in the experience, or perhaps the compatibility of golf with other activities in a more powerful, more sophisticated way. But what does that mean about the design, the vision, the arrival sequence, how technology allows us to have a better experience? So if the traditional argument has been that time is luxury, that the defining luxury of our age is having the time to do things beyond work while still working, then arguably we are evolving to a moment where choice is luxury. We've got the time, we want high quality choices, and with, again, the impact of technology, transparency, we know already, before we show up, what other people think, the blogs, the reviews. We're a sophisticated audience, massively more so than 10 years ago, and 10 years from now it will be uncanny how accurate we can be. And those first impressions where people say, it's okay, but I wouldn't go out of my way, will mean that generations of people won't bother. And that could be what drives the success or the failure of a massive investment with huge amounts of time and energy from private sector and public sector. So to me, the resort experience, given that resorts are all about experience, is the place where this is most interesting.